So what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to this episode of the gaming review of the iPhone 5S on iOS 9.3.1. So to prove to you this is the iPhone 5S, I do have the Apple leather case on right now. Let me pull that off real quick, just to prove to you there's no SE branding on there, because now that the SE has been released, it's very easy to get these two confused. You could be like, that's the SE. Well, just to show you, no SE logo, so this is the 5S. All the people on the channel know the silver phone is the 5S. But let's go ahead and hop into this video and start the gaming. So I downloaded a few of the games I would play on iOS 9.3.1. And the only reason I don't really keep games on my phone, because I don't game that much, but also because a 16 gigabyte iPhone, I just don't feel I have the space for games. So I keep them off until, I feel like playing some games. And today I felt like playing some games, so we're gonna play some here to kind of give you a test of the iPhone 5S on iOS 9.3.1 gaming. So let's go into settings just to prove that we are on iOS 9.3.1. I'm gonna zoom out a bit here. And let's go into general and go into about device, and you could see, wow, I only got 1.2 gigs, that's nothing. But basically we are on 9.3.1 there, just to prove to y'all that I ain't bullshitting with you. So let's go over to the right here, and you can see that I do have these few games. Now, the Modern Combat game is to show off the graphics as well as the speed racing. Now this is not the real racing level graphic, it's kind of in between, and we got Blood and Glory here in real basketball. So basically let's hop into Pixball or whatever. It's like a new game, it's pretty cool. And if you guys want to know about any of these games, like where to get them or whatever, obviously if you use an iPhone, it's in the App Store, but you might not want to go search it. You want the links, let me know. I'll drop the links in the description if enough people request it. But if not, just go check them out. So let's start this game off. I don't know if you guys could hear it. Basically, this is a tennis game. It's a low graphic game. It's not really going to give you that much of a trouble in terms of performance. But as you can see, it performs well, and it's a very enjoyable game. So I don't want to spend too much time in these games, but I just want to show you that there is no trouble here with gaming on your iPhone 5S at iOS 9.3.1, the latest and greatest software. So let's go into this racing game as well, Thunderbolt. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to all the developers of these games, making it possible for us to all enjoy our time on these games. And let's just wait for this ad to end here. Let's go to X. And let's season 1, let's do a dual race. Let's pick the BMW here. And let's just race real quick. We just want to get a little performance test here. And you can see this is not the funnest racing game in the world. It's pretty, the graphics aren't the best in the world, but you know what? We're not trying to do the most graphically intensive, thing here. We're just trying to see overall, how the iPhone 5S performs. And I can tell you out of 10, I'm going to give it like about a 7 right now, 7 or 8. It's still pretty good. It's still a lot better than a lot of Android phones. The graphics on this thing with the Retina display with the well-balanced colors, as you can see the flower, very nicely balanced colors here. The graphics on these games seem a little bit more enjoyable than pretty much any Android that I've used. So that's not being biased towards Apple. It's just what I'm seeing from my eyes. If you guys disagree, that's cool too. Just go ahead and comment why you disagree. Let's go down to Modern Combat and let's play that one real quick. This is going to be a more graphic intensive game. So let me just skip through everything, let this load up real quick. You can see the loading times a bit, still pretty quick here. Now, if you did have the SE, it'd probably be all the way up here already. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's pretty, acceptable, especially being that this phone is now going on 3 years old. So let's go over here. And you can see, now in this game, I did notice a little bit of a struggle on the iPhone 5S's part. It was just a little bit of a delay on certain graphics. So when I would turn sometimes, there was a little bit of choppiness, but you're not seeing it here. But overall, I would give it a 9 out of 10 on these more graphic intensive games. Sometimes you do get a slight drop in frame rate, as you've seen right there when I got shot with the blood. There was just a slight drop there. So in terms of those graphical games, you are gonna have a little bit of issue in terms of it not being 100% smooth, but it's not to the point where you can't play it. It's not even close to that point. It's just, if you're really picky, you will notice that, what the hell, my iPhone 5S is slightly getting a little old, because the fact is it's 2016 and it is getting a little bit old. Nothing lasts forever. That's why we update, but we don't have to update every year. But it's pretty awesome that you still have the latest software here on the iPhone. I don't want to get into these other games. I don't want this video to get too long, but I hope that gave you a little bit of an idea of what you can expect on your iPhone 5S in terms of, you know, gaming on this device. Like I say, it's pretty solid. I would still do the update if you're worried about gaming. You're still gonna be able to game pretty, you know, solidly in here. If you're wondering if it gets warm, it did get a tad bit warm, but pretty much all the phones I use when you're doing gaming, it does get a tad bit warm on any device. And in terms of battery life, it does drain it quite a bit when gaming, but this is to be expected because gaming is heavily taxing on the processor itself. So yeah, you're gonna have a quicker drop in battery, of course, especially if you're playing these graphical games. Now, if you're playing something like Pixter, I think it's called, or whatever, Pixball, if you're playing something like that or Angry Birds, you should be good. But that pretty much wraps this video up on iOS 9.3.1 gaming on the iPhone 5S. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to go ahead and drop it a thumbs down below. Share this video with anybody who could find it helpful. And subscribe to the channel for more technology videos if you haven't already. And I will